Let's jump in. All right. If any, Amresh, if any issues, give me a call in WhatsApp. So I know there's something wrong, right? If there's still echo, just mute. Just mute one of those guys. G, maybe you can just mod and mute the guys who are sharing the screen. I think both of them who are sharing the screen. I think you can just mute them. So that there's no way it can. I think now it's all good. Okay, perfect. All right. So jumping in. All right. So this screen might be a surprise for a lot of you guys. So why PG is shutting down? Um, we technically ran out of funds, and definitely there's a lot of FUD. In the space in general, um, the space is super toxic, and of course, pre-sales just going around like mad, and also the opportunity lost, which I was talking to you guys about. So literally, we are killing PG, and I'm not joking about this. We literally are killing PG. Why we killing PG is because we want you guys to assume the first thing that this could have been a massively failed project. Without the funds, with a little bit of early level mistakes that were made and not raising enough funds and all those kind of things. Right? So why PG is shutting down is because of all these reasons and funds and all these things. This could have happened, and this could have happened, and this happened, and we are killing PG to restart, rebirth, a new brand, a new branding, and a new project. So essentially, imagine if PG was a rug, or PG had died, and if it had completely had to be killed, and if we were given a chance to restart, um, you know, PG from start with a new name, new project, new art, new everything, but with all the experience and all the connects that we have now, how better things could be, right? From the artwork, from the branding, from everything else, right? So, so the slide is, of course, I think it's definitely misleading, but 100% that it's true that we are killing PG. We are killing PG as the way it is, to convert it into a new structure, which I'm going to explain. So we gave ourselves a second life, a second chance, and we just imagined if we had all these experiences, how well we could launch a new project, and how well things could be moving forward. So I wouldn't even call it a PG 2.0. I would pretty much, it's a new birth, right? So anyways, continuing on. All right. Anyway, so from PG's point of view, I would like people to understand what we are trying to do here. All right. So I don't know how many of you know about Y Combinator, right? What does Y Combinator do, or what do VCs do in general, right? Um, the model or approach that we are trying to take is that how do we have something sustainable that that turns PG from just being a project to a business, or a like a monster, like a major brand in the space, right? Not just as an IP brand and stuff, but as a company where people come to PG for multiple reasons, multiple different sectors. Because as I was telling in the start, imagine if we had got you DYM airdrops, right? Imagine if we had got any of these airdrops, multiple, whatever airdrops that each project is getting, wormhole or whatever, everything else, any airdrop that happens at the end of the day, what does it happen in the end? The flow pumps and then it dumps. It's not sustainable, right? The belief of PG in few months back, when we realized that, okay, why did we go to such a high flow? First of all, why did PG go from 0.05 to 25 ETH? Why did Genesis go to 7 ETH? When you look at it, it's again hype that was unsustainable, that was linked to the success of other projects. Hey guys, we secured 1,000 meme land spots. Hey guys, we secured all Genesis whitelist for whatever imaginary ones, PXN. All these things were happening. Karafru, everything was happening back in the bull 2021, 2022. But where did the success of PG um, lie, right? It was relying on other projects and the success of other projects, or how other projects could if they do well, if they give us whitelist spots, and then yes, amazing. We are successful. If they don't, that's exactly why our floor tanked. And when it went to the bear market, and then we are like, oh, PG is an amazing alpha group. Now not anymore, because it's a bear market. No whitelist flip is a success, and that's pretty much it, right? So yet again, the bull market kicks on, but this time, instead of just having people or anything in this bull market about how Genesis are getting these whitelist spots, that whitelist spots, or whatever, we moved away from that model. Um, you know, just one second. Sorry, what's this echo thing, guys? Can somebody please, just mute all the ones who are sharing the screen? Um,
That should be good now, Shan.
all right, perfect. Thanks, G. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the aim, right? So what is we don't rely on other projects to just airdrop us. That can happen naturally, which one of the things, for example, just to kick this off, Bliff. Bliff is by Darewise, and I'm kind of skipping few slides, but Bliff is by Darewise, and Darewise is an Animoca subsidiary, and we have been helping them, and that's Yacht's direct bet on the BTC ecosystem, raised this. But I don't want to, build a massive hype around it by being like, hey guys, Bliff airdrop for PG Genesis and stuff, because that is not our product that's happening. Yes, if you believe in Ordinal's ecosystem or not, the PG Genesis, of course, is going to get those accesses to, the Bliff as a token. But is it something I'm extremely proud about or just happy about? Not exactly, because today there's going to be Bliff, and tomorrow if there is no Bliff, I don't want someone coming to a community to just get that, hey, I'm getting this airdrop from this, very project, like a big project that's probably going to have a 1 bill FTV, and PG is getting whatever the amount. I don't even know the amount, but just giving an example, right? If it comes, if projects want to offer us airdrops like Wormhole or Dim or whatever, amazing. If not, it's fine. That's not where we should rely on, is the first thing, right? So as a Y Combinator, what is our goal? Our aim is to create, incubate, and acquire projects or products where we don't have to rely on anybody else or rely on another person's success, but our own product success will be our identity, and that will lead to our evaluation of PG, which our aim is to be a unicorn, meaning $1 billion business. It does not rely on other people, but on us, but on our products. So, having said this, we have split PG into 6 core sectors, or let's call it the PG 2.0 or the future, whatever the name, the rebranding that's happening very soon, monthish, potentially. So, the 6 sectors are brand identity, decentralized investments, gamify, edufy, and gamblefy, ordinals, um, AI, gaming, deepen, and gamblefy. So we have segregated PG into 6 core sectors. Some of this you guys might have known. Some of this might be like real new news for you guys. Like what's been happening and stuff. But this has been months of work, not one day, not one week, not a month. So some of it could be like, as I said, like some of this you guys might have known. Most of it maybe you weren't aware of. So I'm just putting our key partners and supporters. Um, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've cross verified once again, but every single name here has invested in one of PG's products, at least one of PG's products. Not Genesis, not NFTs. I'm talking about products that we are going to launch. So from Julio, who's the CEO of Pixelmon, Zeneca, of course, you guys know, Ice Coffee, co-founder of Spirit DAO, Dingaling, Grail, Amr, founder of Revolving Games, Casey, Saints of LA, Apple, Kyong, Elena, Ben. Might I'm just making sure that I don't read. I'm just. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think everyone here has invested at least in one of PG's products. And this is what I think is, none of this is public, of course, and I hope you guys just keep it within us, within the group for now. This, we're going to start announcing and stuff. And Sison Cap, Sublime Ventures, Acquired 5, Busbridge Capital, Ticker Capital, Oracles, all these are investors as well. What the product is, where, when they come in and stuff, that's all going to be out to public. But this was a fundraise and races that has been happening for months. We did our we did our race in a peak bear market last year, which is one of the hardest. So it shows how many people really, really trusted us and who have jumped in. Some of it happened pretty recently, but our we are also going to have some more final races in Q2, and then Q2 is pretty much, we are finalizing the races and the drop. But anyways, so these are some solid names in the space which we didn't even have access to a few months back, and them trusting us and coming in with whatever the size check is, as an angel, as a VC, or whatever, is something that made me really happy when I look back and I'm like, damn, we actually have captured quite a bit of the market, who have trusted and have invested in PG or PG's products, right? So just adding this here. So yeah, I'll just jump onto the next slide. So as you can see here, the six sectors, each of the six sectors have a team lead. Okay. The question that could come on people's mind is, not to bring references, but let's take Lamaverse for example, right? Because a lot of you know from back in the day, he was a hardworking guy. I still respect him for whatever he tried to do. But one of the reasons why he agreed that Lamaverse failed was because of doing a lot of things and not able to execute them. So when you look at six sectors, the first thing that can come to your mind is, Shan, isn't this going to have a risk of you guys getting burnt out or not having, not able to execute, any of these products in a way it should be done, right? So as you progress through the slides, you will see how it's not, like the mistakes of many projects who are trying to do a lot of things and then end up failing. Each of these six sectors have only one lead from PG's core stuff, right? Just one lead and a separate team under them, a completely separate team under them, a complete separate fundraise, and 95% there is no, let's say overlap. Like there won't be an overlap between this product of ours, which is AI gaming, and Gamblefy. There won't be an overlap with ordinals, with brand identity team, decentralized investments with gamify team. Each of these six sectors have their own lead and their own team, anywhere from 4 people all the way up to 15 people, including devs, right? So the first thing about brand identity, the team lead Amrish, he's been working on. It's been a hard fucking task to say the least, with the art change and the merge. As an existing project, we have some identity already, and it's not easy. And you don't want to, we know the mistakes that has happened multiple times with other projects. We learned from Azuki, when the Elementals drop came out as a surprise, even the whales were not aware. Even in our own project, right, when we dropped Fusion, many of them didn't know what to expect and they were super unhappy, and it was really a mess. So this entire 10K merge, for those of you who are not aware, PG collection is going to be merged into one single 10K collection, right? So this merge is going to be very, very strategic, and the reasons I'll explain in the next slide. But essentially, how we went along with this is important. So the artwork is being done by, I don't like to just use these things publicly, but guys who worked for, whatever, like, Spider-Man comics, this comic, that comic. But to be very honest, our art studio, the guys have worked like with a lot of the top, comics and animations that have been done by Sony and Marvel, etc. So, but you don't want to, just market it with this, this thing. But the aim is, we wanted the artwork this time to be done by a professional artist. Until this point, all the artwork by PG was done by community members. I think you guys know that. Genesis was done by Jamie. Fusion and Gen 2 was done by, I think, Arcade Boy, and Gibbon, and a couple of other guys from the PG community, because we have always been community first, community focused, um, you know, projects. So we have, um, how do I say? We have always focused on the using the community for a lot of things, giving opportunity, giving job, etc. But that's not going to help us, move forward or as a top brand or a top art, whatever, right? So we had hired a solid, team of artists. How the artwork has been progressing for the last 4 5 months is that we did a pre-survey. A lot of people from the space, Web 2, Web 3 included, getting some information about, we did a sly drop, even in our own server. You guys didn't know it was for us. We did a survey and we were like, hey guys, we are doing this survey on behalf of somebody else. Can you guys fill up a front facing image, side facing image, and whatever? I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was actually for us, right? So different groups answered those questions, and we pretty much went through a survey to try and get, like, different responses, etc. And then feedback sessions, one-on-one calls with community holders to test the final two art concepts. So we spoke to guys like Dingaling, because we need whale support, we need OG support. We had calls with Dingaling, Maverick, Ghost, Grail, and OGs like Jonas and Don, I think, Rockstar, a mix of guys that, like, that Amresh and me were picking up, and Amresh went on a one-on-one call to try and get, even DJ was involved in that call. So we got like different sets of people to get their views, because there's no one art that's going to satisfy everybody, and we're not competing with Azuki or trying to be the best art in the space, but to be one of the best, right? So we couldn't, our aim was not just to go and, try and be like, hey, here is it, it's the best art in the space, because the best art, what was deemed as what is it, recent one, Persona was deemed as one of the best ones. It's perspective at the end of the day, but at the same time, we want to make sure that our whales are ready to support us when the new art comes. Are they keen to have this art in their wallet? Are they keen to potentially rep it in the future? Giving them the voice, giving the newcomers a choice and chance to express their opinion, at the same time respecting the OG feels and decisions, right? So that's pretty much how the process went. It was a long survey, it was a one-on-one calls, etc. And the traits, we created a lot of mood boards. If you see our Miro board and stuff, it was filled with a lot of information. But finally, I think, safe to say that we are there, right? We are there. Positive feedback so far. So, anyways, so the reasoning for the consolidation, for the new guys who have just joined PG, multiple collections have led to confusion. A lot of them have told us, and even those of you who have joined new, you might have been confused which one to buy: Fusion, Gen 2, Genesis, whatever. Segregation is a lack of unity, and by merging, if we have one unified PG identity, we become a one single 10K collection. And luckily with all the uh you know how do I say, the numbers that we have dropped for Genesis, Gen 2, and also the Jiraverse, we are able to consolidate them into the under this number. A 10K is a nice neat number, right? A unified user base. As you guys can see here in NFT Inspect, we have a range of ranks. There's a 30, there's a 57, there's 107, right? So a small supply like a Genesis holding in the top 30 rank, and a thing like Gen 2 at 57 and Fusion like 107, people don't want to be feeling like they are a second class or third class citizens, and they might rep a Genesis of Kaiju Kings, or example, right, of another collection, than a Gen 2 of PG, because there is always this thing about pride, and this PFPs always represent that pride, right? So we kind of feel that, the multiple collections spread us apart, and stuff. It doesn't mean that the Genesis is going to lose their utility or use case. From the outside, we are one single 10K, but from the inside, there is going to be 333 roles called the Investor Illuminati, for example, where these roles are given to the PG Genesis holders. Your use cases, utility, everything is the same. The core feel of being a Genesis is going to be the same. How the system is going to work is different. For the first time, maybe, in the space, we are launching like a role based use case than a trade based use case. I'll go to that. IP limitations, heavily inspired by Godzilla design, can be a pain for us to do a lot of We had to skip a lot of opportunities because we didn't want to be sued by Togo and other people. Restrictions in securing brand deals and collabs, lack of an original identity. It poses an obstacle for us long term. We are looking at 3, 5, 10 years from now. We don't want to, when we assume that Marvel and other people are going to come into the space, if you don't have your own unique IP with the strength of this community, it is as good as it's wasted, right? So IP limitations and trait optimization, crowded, noisy, and busy trait combos, lacking trait hierarchy, lack of cohesive designs. Anyway, so there's so much of reasons, right? But there are four key reasons why we have to consolidate the collection, but without moving away from the dino too much, or the elements of dino. So we won't be completely moving away from it. Our identity has been unique. We will stick to it, stick to the lizard, stick to the dino kind of a, like a vibe. It might be a humanoid, it could be a dino man or whatever that you could call. You will look at it, and if people know there was something called PG, you'll know that okay, this could be PG, right? But for newcomers to come in, they look at a pleasant art. They look at an art that's not too strong, that's not too weird, or that's not too crowded. And we learned a lot about PFP collections and how those things look like. So, anyways, so from the brand identity point, reason for the consolidation, our future plans, our goal is to be top 7 in Inspect, NFT Inspect, and we are, if we combine our Genesis, Gen 2, and Fusion, we are already in top 15, right? So the top 15 is, just by merging the top 15, we're already there, and reaching a top 7 in the NFT Inspect is not, is not impossible, right? But that is our goal. By end of this year, when we have our year-end AMA, about this, we come back and we revisit what our goals, and let's see. Brand recognition, no longer Web3 secret. Aligning brand principles and ambassadorship is very important. So this is our goal from a KPI perspective. uh, if we don't get on top 7, Amresh is getting fired. It's pretty much, that's pretty much the deal that we have, with this thing. So we have to reach there. The airdrop numbers, the Genesis are going to get 10 of the new collection. Fusion is going to get 3 of the new collection. Gen 2 is gonna get 1. Don't worry about the legendaries and Fusion legendaries and stuff. We will make sure that it's all taken care of, right? So Genesis Legendary will have extra bits. Fusion Legendary, there's a small extra bit, and Gen 2 Legendary. All of you guys who have supported us and given us that trust, Gen 2 Legendaries will be treated as legendaries of the main collection. So essentially, Genesis Legendary and Gen 2 Legendaries will be the 20 legendaries of the collection. So meaning we are valuing people that have spent, because Gen 2 legendaries were, people had spent anywhere from 10 to 25 ETH back in the day, and we want to keep you always know that we keep community first, and there is nothing stopping us from giving that at least that level of a 1:1 artwork, and giving the same level or value as a Gen 1 legendary. So essentially meaning, and all of you have a Gen 2 legendary, it is equivalent to a Gen 1 legendary at this stage, right? So anyways, that's from the Genesis part, and I'm really happy. I think I can see the reactions. I'm happy that you guys are happy about it, and I think that keeps everyone. I think we've kind of put everybody's thought process into consideration, and to make sure that it doesn't screw up, etc. But anyways, so the legendaries and stuff will be separate, but we will not Fusion Legendary. Fusion Legendary will get extra 1. So instead of 3, they'll get 4. So still it's valuable, still it's more, although we promised nothing. So Fusion Legendary will get 4 airdrops instead of 3, which is only 9 pieces. So we are satisfying the Fusion Legendary guys as well. And yeah, more information soon, but essentially the Genesis Legendary and the Gen 2 is something that I wanted to confirm. Um, anyways, so others, the rares and stuff, will be a trait. Okay, will be a trait as part of the new collection, right? So okay, so cool. So for Jiraverse and Jira voxels, we had collected information about how you guys are, what you guys had keyed in. So Fusion, I mean, sorry, the Jiraverse Jiravox is also going to be merged into the collection, but how it's going to work is going to be very different. Okay, we are in the process of working with Floating Protocol, right? So Floating Protocol is a leading platform for fractionalization, right? So we're looking to fractionalize X amount of NFTs. I'm not going to tell the numbers at this stage. X amount of NFTs from the 10K collection, and all the Jiraverse minters and who have held it, or bought from the floor above 0.05 or minted, they will be getting their that portion as a fractionalized NFT. So meaning you get more value than what you minted it for and for holding it. So don't buy the floor of Jiraverse now. This is only for people that bought above 0.05 and those who fill the form when we put out. So we are fractionalizing and getting, I wouldn't say getting rid, but actually doing justice for people that trusted us. No project or no collection in the space has taken ownership for a failed drop, right? Everybody just drops it and they ignore one collection and then they be like, sorry guys, it was failed. But we don't want to do that. You spend 0.075 ETH to mint it. We didn't run away with the funds, but now you get back at least 0.075 to zero point 0.1 ETH or more worth of fractions, which you can sell it in Floating Protocol or buy more fractions and claim the one of the new collections, so you can work your way towards it. So we are also fractionalizing this way, introducing the fractionalization to the community, and at the same time keeping the Jiraverse minters and floor buyers happy, giving them a decent exit. So I'll just take a pause here if there's any questions, um, you know, regarding, because there's quite a lot of information, but this is how our exit plan was planned for Jiraverse and the merge as such. So if you guys minted, don't go and dump the Jiraverse for 0.01 and waste it. That's all I can say. Just don't do it. Like, it's not worth it. So if you bought 30 Jiraverse at 0.01, we'll have other ways to burn Jiraverse to claim some token drops and stuff. But unfortunately, there's only so much we can do. We want to take care of the guys who minted and the ones who spent more than X amount of money from the flow. Certain amounts, $60, $30. If we start trying to, you know, satisfy everybody, then it's going to kill us. The gas fees is more to airdrop you than try to, let's say satisfy somebody who bought the floor at 0.01. So if you minted and swept, amazing. If you fill the form, perfect. You'll be taken care of. All right. So any questions, guys? All right, cool. So when will the merge happen? If I give a date, it's a problem. I would say it's not going to be longer, right? Like, we are aiming, please don't hold me to it. We are aiming May 1, all right, which I think currently we're on track, but not more than that, right? Not more than, we're not going to go into Q3 and shit. Definitely not, right? If Q3, it's a failure, right? I think we spent enough time. So max Q2, but May 1 is our target. But don't hold me to it 100%. We want to make sure every single art that we drop is checked, and we don't have some random traits coming on like Hate Beast or other shit, and and we don't want to be shit on by the space. So we will make sure the see that it's not about dropping it. We can drop anything right now, right? But dropping it the right way, getting the whales, getting everybody to check, getting them on board, makes them feel like we are valuing them, and we do value them. We value their opinion, we value the OG's opinion. So when we make sure we check with everybody, we check things, we check, the art quality and stuff. And even if we take a little bit of time to drop, which we have already taken so long, we're almost there, 90-95% there. Just few more, like a month and a half, and the announcements to be made and stuff. And also we'll be onboarding a new set of people. So we did the math, about 9,000 pieces will be filled by Genesis, Fusion, Gen2, and Jiraverse. To get back the hype, we are going to be having 1,000 pieces that will be offered to other communities. Most probably we don't want to keep asking our own community members to participate in the sale of the new 10, I mean the 1,000 pieces of the 10K, but the aim is to go and reach to different communities, doing an AMAs, presenting them, getting like 25 to 50 pieces given per community, to get them on board as a pre-sale or whatever with a lock-in, right? So if the floor is, for example, zero point 0.5 ETH after the merge, the 10K merge, we might do a 0.25 ETH mint or a zero point 0.3 ETH mint with a 1 month or a 2 month lock-in, who really genuinely want to join us. 1,000 extra unique holders is the important part, right? So essentially, I know a lot of PG holders would love to come in and stuff. Maybe friends and stuff, yes, we can look at it, but we need a solid social presence, or at least have a Twitter account that lasted for X amount of time, etc. So giving an opportunity for new people to come in. We want unique holders. We want people from different communities. So 9,000 pieces going to Genesis, Fusion, Gen 2, Jiraverse, Jiraworks holders, and 1,000 pieces. This way, we bring the attention back to us, leading up to the next set of announcements. So now people want this whitelist because they know for a fact it's at 50% discount or 60% discount or whatever the number is from the floor of whatever. They come in and there's new eyes and new attention back, to back to PG, right? So definitely don't want to do it for holders only, because again, we don't want to just keep being an echo chamber, but we want to attack new communities and going around getting them on board. So in short, 10,000 pieces consolidated, Genesis role not affected, the Genesis use case is not affected. How can you earn or lose the gen role? Can it be transferred, sold, lent? Okay, sure. So how that's going to work is all the Genesis holders at the time of snapshot, you guys, is right now, you will start off with the role, right? You'll start off with the 333 role. This role will be transferable to Telegram and Discord automatically, right? So we're working on the bots for that. Probably, we're calling it the Jira profile. Okay, the new website, you just go and connect your wallet. It reads what NFTs you have. You start off with a role because we have taken a snapshot. You start off with a role, and that role you key in your Twitter, your Discord, and your Telegram. So we're calling it the Jira profiling system, and automatically you get access to Discord server with the Genesis role. Let's call it the Investor Illuminati role, and access to Telegram. Now we'll also have a marketplace in the website where you can rent out the roles. Okay, so for example, you have two Genesis now, and you want to rent out the role for zero point 0.1 ETH a week. Anyone with at least one NFT, right? One of the new NFTs can pay you that zero point 0.1 ETH, and one of your roles transfers to the new guy, and he gets into the chat, and pretty much you can treat it as a passive income, whatever. All the airdrops will come to the owner, the actual owner, even when you lend the role. The lending role will only give access to PG cap roles, accesses to other things, some redacted stuff, etc., while they have the role for them to test it. Let's say, for example, we're announcing ether nodes, ether nodes, I mean, whatever this week, a guy with a single NFT can buy into Genesis or rent a gen role just to use that opportunity. And you're not going to use the PG cap, access for that week or whatever, or because you don't have funds or you're out, you're on a vacation or whatever. This guy could come in, rent out your role, purchase the Aether nodes or purchase imaginary ones investment or overworld or whatever the block games or whatever investment for that period, and he goes out pretty much, right? And how do you lose the role? Is even if you sell one of the 10 NFTs that's being airdropped, you lose the role, right? So if you have 12 and you sell two, it's fine. If you have 10 and you sell one, it's gone. And for you to come back again into the Genesis, you have to apply. And when you do an application, the existing Genesis holders will have to accept you in. It'll be a very short application, right? It'll be a very small application, like what's your this thing, what's your Twitter, what's your profession, or some questions like that, to see whether people want you in, and a small write up, like one line write up what you're expecting or whatever. So existing gen holders have to accept new guys to come in, and it has a minimum threshold of votes. If the minimum threshold is not there, then the PG team will select one of the guys if we deem them fit. So there will never be more than 333 roles ever, right? Someone has to leave for someone else to come, and if you leave, you can't just come in. You have to apply to come in. So this way, what happens is, it's like a country club membership in a way, right? So the country club membership is where we believe you want to be on this Telegram chat with all these guys like Dingaling, Grail, Conga, and all this, just for example, right? Just an example. And we are still growing to reach that level of high exclusive club and whatever. You enter the PG ecosystem easier. Once you enter, you work your way through, have at least 10 NFTs, and once you have 10 NFTs, you apply. And if you are a if you are a very you're a contributor in the community, yeah, you are like an influencer on Twitter, or you are a spaces host or whatever, and people recognize you, or you have just contributed in some way or the other, like, which we know, like, a lot of people like Don Pute, he was making tweets and threads about PG back then. Everyone recognizes that Maverick, the other Maverick, the PG Maverick, he was crazy supporter for PG and Twitter. Like, people know people like that, right? From the Fusion and Gen 2s, there are a lot of people like that. So you guys will know, you'll be familiar. So these guys with 10 NFTs can apply, and if someone left, they can come in. So like in 1 year or 2 years from now, when PG exists as one of the very few projects, the OG projects, the curiosity that, hey, what's happening, guys? I want to come in, like, this is a business, I want to connect with these people. And you can't buy your way in, which is normally, you shouldn't be able to buy your way in. That's how normally an exclusive club should be. But you can enter the wider ecosystem without any confusion. Any questions, guys? I think it's a little complicated, maybe, but when it's out as a product, it's much easier to understand. In short, as long as you don't sell your Genesis, you don't have to worry. You can continue enjoying the benefits, right? Whatever the way it is, nothing changes for you. Nothing changes for you at all, from your access, airdrop plans, your status, etc. Nothing changes, except that it's much more a cleaner system, right? So any thoughts? Even if, don't, just because if 99% of the people are accepting to this idea, and if you feel that this is a bullshit idea, just drop your comment here. Would like to hear your thoughts. That is why we are doing Genesis first and moving to Gen 2, right? So if there's some kind of a thing that you feel doesn't make sense, I want to hear. If it makes sense, I would like to add it, right? So Gen 2 legendaries also get one of the 333 tokens then, or just no, Gen 2 legendaries won't get the 333 tokens. Gen 2 legendaries will get the legendary NFT. So there'll be only 20 single pieces of legendary NFTs that you will be getting, right? So that means if in a 10K collection there's only 20 pieces that'll have a legendary trait, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I would like to have a dictatorship than a democratic voting. I think let's keep it as a test. Let's test it for 3 months. If it is really bad quality of people, or if the choices of the majority is not right, we can look at it. We can consider moving back, and stuff. Gen 2 legendaries cannot get Genesis access. They will get the same amount of airdrops, and they'll get the same the legendary status, but no. Can we buy multiple roles to increase the allocation size of given pre-sales? Absolutely. Yes. Each role, if it's $1,000 allocation, you have two rolls, it's $2,000. Yes. So you lose the role if you sell below 10, but can you sell it? And if so, what stops someone from selling it? No, you cannot sell the role. You can never sell the role. You can only rent the role or leave. You cannot sell the role. Okay. So if you sell one of the 10 NFTs, you lose the role. So you cannot buy into the role. You can only rent the role. Will Genesis holder gets a better trade? Of course. Genesis will be a 1:1. Every Genesis is going to be a 1:1 and will have a trait that is unique. It will be like a, let's say, 333 rares of the collection will be the Genesis, like one each. So it doesn't necessarily carry a separate value except art value. What if we have three roles I lose on, and can I apply for a new one? You cannot. If you apply already having an extra role, you'll mostly be rejected. We don't want multiple users after the merge to have roles, but you already have role now and you think it's bullish to rent roles and you think that makes sense and you want more allocations per Genesis that you have, free to have it. But if you feel that, nah, this role thing is, I don't think I'm going to use, I don't need 3x airdrops, I don't need 3x allocations, I don't need 3x or whatever, then selling one or two Genesis now is probably your best bet. Is legendary treat of the new collection also just art value? I would say yes. We don't want to link it to one NFT having a value anymore. That is what's going to screw us up again if we do it, right? If we're going to be like, another guys just have this Genesis NFT as part of a trade, it won't work. Definitely won't work. So there'll be only 1x333 rare out of 10. I think there'll be like 343 or 353, but not more than that. There is a couple of uh, pieces that we are having the rare trade, I think, so maybe like 350 or 360 at most. Asian, I think one of the hesitations will be right now there's clear premium on Genesis. New system without ability to sell, that's probably might be a negative. Okay, but yeah, what's short term thing and longer run? You never know, Aku. So right now, can you sell? Can 10 of you sell your Genesis right now for 5 ETH each? I'll. It's a challenge. Sell me 10 Genesis right now for 5 ETH each. You can't. But if our floor tomorrow at a 10K collection reaches a level of 1 ETH, your value of that NFT per Genesis is now 10 ETH because you hold 10 of them right now, which is much easier. 10K x 1 ETH is easier than 3000, sorry, 333 times 10 ETH, which is liquid. You guys understand that, right? If you have 10 pieces and if each of them are 0.5 ETH or even 1 ETH, the number of blur bids are a lot higher than having like 5 ETH times 10. Genesis is not a liquid collection, right? You can dump it for maybe 3 ETH right now, or 4 ETH or whatever. But if 10 or 20 people want to sell right now, they can't. So when the merge happens, you have 10 pieces. Let's assume, right? I'm just giving a conservative number. I don't see why we can't have a minimum zero point 0.5 ETH flow, right? A minimum. I'm talking about a minimum. So now if a zero point 0.5 ETH floor for a 10K collection is not, crazy with what are the things that's coming out, and if that's the case, um, you know that's the inherent value of 5 ETH plus a value for the role which can be rented out and stuff. So I'm being very conservative here, but I realized one thing, right? The supply of the collection does not matter for a floor price. People only want to participate in things based on what they perceive as the value. Our Gen 2s, the supply got half reduced when Fusion was created, but Gen 2 floor went down. But when Gen 2s were 3,333, we had a 7th floor. So supply size does not matter psychologically to how much a person is willing. He has in his mind that this particular ecosystem, I don't want to put more than that much. It doesn't matter the supply, it doesn't matter the numbers. Why didn't all the 333s and 444 people projects succeed then? If small supply was always great, there's a lot of 333s have a floor under Jiraverse right now, right? So this is pretty much it, right? So essentially, the way for us to move towards a potential 10K collection with a 2, 3, 4, 1, whatever the target is much more achievable as one single collection and making a move. Everybody that I meet, if I have to get them into Genesis, they're like, oh, they look at it, they're like, oh shit, man, 5 ETH, let me think about it. But every event that we go and we're like, hey man, I want to buy into your collection. And I'm like, hey, here is the OpenSea ID. And he's like, oh, it's 1 ETH. Okay, let me buy it. Easier. Easier for you guys to go around when you talk about PG, or even for me to talk about PG. Easier to bring a guy in a 10K collection with a 1 ETH floor than bring a guy into a 333 with a 5 or a 6 ETH illiquid collection. So, anyways, I'll take a pause here. Gen 2 legendary get Gen 2 in the country without the 3-3 access. Yes, Winston, that's correct. Yep. And the airdrop, I think we'll work out some number to make it valuable as well. More than like it could have a Genesis like airdrop, so meaning 10 pieces. I'll confirm on that. Don't hold me to it, but we are working out to make sure that we do right stuff for the guys. Can we buy a 1x floor common NFT and sell our rare trade and remain as a Genesis Club member? Yes, you can. You can. It doesn't matter what NFT you hold. Doesn't matter. Buy before you sell. Exactly. Don't lose the roll. Go to 9 and then buy a 10. Jirax, is it getting rebranded? Are we getting rid of it? Getting rebranded, yes. Jirax is getting rebranded. Can you rent out a Gen 1 role if you hold only one Gen 1? Yes, you can. You can rent out a role even if you hold only one. Nope, the artist has not done any previous NFT projects. We were very particular about the artist not being associated to any other projects, because we want to bring a fresh guy into the space, into the NFT space. So we made sure that the artist does not have any previous this thing. Art leak, it's been leaked to I think few of the gen holders, a series of different ones. This was just picked based on different profiles. So ask DJ or Rockstar or a few other guys. Okay, all right, cool. So I think let's move on. So I think because I have another call in an hour. All right, so next one. So decentralized investments. So this is the PG Capital. The team lead for that is Ken. So so PG Capital is a community-driven Web3 venture capital that's dedicated, to stuff. A lot of these investments you guys might not have seen in Discord, but these are things that we offered to people in Telegram, right? We did a test run. We have been bringing a few of the gen holders. There's about 120 gen holders now in Telegram. We did a form. We asked people what their monthly comfortable investment amount is. So all those who have put like 5K and above, we brought them in. It's just a test. It's not to segregate you guys or make you feel separate, but we don't want people FOMOing in and throwing money into investments without realizing what their net worth is or what they're comfortable with. But now the test was amazing. The Telegram has been popping. We don't think of it as we wanted to segregate people and whatnot. But the reason why our floor is not at 1.5 and 5 or 6 ETH now is having that kind of a segregated Telegram where people are comfortable, a safe space for people to spend their time, etc. There, it's going to become very easy for everybody, all the gen holders to come in. Just hold on until end of this quarter, and with the new system implemented, anyone with the gen role can jump in. How many telegrams are there? So there are 3 telegrams. One is the trading group, one is PG Genesis group, and then PG Whale chat. Can you guys see my screen? Right. So I'll show you something. So this is the PG Capital Whales chat, and you can see the names of people here: Dinga, Chenin, Ace, CBBOFE, few other guys, Happy Buddha, Livan Luthra, Mav, Ghost, Ice Coffee, Pons, Lififo, literally like superstars kind of space, or people with some level of influence, etc. Grail, Conga, VCs, Cipher Capital, Alchemist is what is it? CD5's co-founder. So this is not for us to try and segregate people and make one feel superior or other. It is a test to see how whether it was attracting better whales, better quality of people coming in, and it did. So now I think it's as I said, the deal flows, everything is the same in both the telegrams and stuff, but it was more like a test and trial, and now we will scale up. Okay, so just showed you the Telegram chat just to give an example of the kind of people that we have in, and how it'll be much more. It's good for just trust us in this. It's good for everyone, because when whales come in and when the when quality people come in, it's good for the overall ecosystem, and for the whole ecosystem to rise together. So we participated in investments for Super Oracles, Valeria Games, Mon Protocol, Shrapnel, Chronoforge, Imaginary, Pocket Universe, Gunzilla, Xverse, Revolving Games, Daywise, Maxis, Avalon, Midnight Society, Sharkify, Life Beyond, a lot more that's not here, but these are where PG Cap's name has been flying. We are advisors for Valeria. We are the lead investors, and advisors for Valeria will be made public. Valeria is super, super, how do I say, a well known project, a lot of whale support, etc. So PG is the lead investor plus strategic advisor for them. Revolving Games, we've been helping them in advisory, and Darewise as well, we are the chief advisors. So this is more like, when I told Y Combinator, we don't just raise funds, we also help with advisory, and we're more silent. We don't want to make it public and be like, hey guys, we are the advisors for so and so by the project. We have been burnt before in the future. So yeah, anyways, reasoning, support beyond capital, ability to secure such allocations due to network connections, community support, Web3 expertise. As you guys can see here, that's just an example. It's such a nice feel to have PG Cap amongst all these top names. And out of the 9 VCs that we have picked here, we're the only community VC there. Animoca, Illuminati, Hercules, MH Ventures, all these next gen, Samsung, whatever, and more. And PG Cap was picked as one of the 9. That's a major win for a project, being featured in Imaginary Ones. Just if you guys understand the longer picture, we are potentially building the next Animoca in a way, right? People want Animoca for the recognition. People will want PG Cap for the community and the support system that comes with it. That's the direction that we are going towards as a Y Combinator plus an Animoca of the space. not just offering investments, but also bringing the community behind it. Imagine PG NFTs as the mochaverse of our universe, right? That's exactly what our aim is. If you understand how mochaverse system works, um, the PG NFTs as a genesis collection of the PG verse, which involves PG's consultancy, PG's capital, and PG's products, right? So the reasoning and the why the democratizes democratizes the investment opportunities regarding regardless of investment background, strong source of recurring revenue. We raised I don't know $4 million in the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks maybe. We raised $4 million from PG Cap, and with the 12% fees, guys, that's about 400 to 450K as a revenue stream for PG, right? That's insane without having to mint new collections, without having to sell whitelist, blah blah blah, whatever. The revenue stream just from a small 100 member group, and we have made about 400K plus as revenue in the last 6 7 weeks, bringing opportunities. Guys, we got Chronoforge at 20 mil and 10 mil, and Chronoforge is launching at a minimum, probably, I don't know, again, not financial advice, but it's launching at probably like a 300 mil FTV at the very least with Bybit and all these names. That's a 12x for the community. Imaginary ones we got at a lower valuation. Every single thing, that's how it's been, right? We had Portal, but our community faded, of course, because they were getting it from every other group. Every single investment opportunity right now we have access to. Ether nodes, we got like one of the best tiers comparatively, even though it was last minute, etc. So PG Cap bringing access to people even with $500, but at the same time also bringing revenue stream for PG. And the most important part is not going to end here. PG Cap 2.0. Few of the gen holders have already been picked up in partnership with Sison Capital. We are working on PG Cap 2.0, which is going to change the game and change the way how investments are being done, segregating us from all the copycats, segregating us from all the similar kind of capitals that exist trying to raise money. This is going to be a value. Think passive, think general, passive airdrops, right? So this is literally what PG Cap 2.0 is going to be about. Working super hard, super fast with this. With Sison Cap is one of the leading VCs in Southeast Asia. Some of the whales, some of the PG gens have been brought on a call to discuss the ideas, discuss a little bit of the little bit of hint on what PG Cap 2.0 is, and got their feedback and working on it. So PG Cap 2.0 means you hold the genesis, even if you don't invest on shit, you're gonna get some shit, right? I'll leave it here, right? So that's the focus towards PG Cap 2.0, which we are working with Sison Cap, a real VC in the space in the Web3 and Web2. Is part of a credit Sison, which has got $30 billion funds under management in Japan. Chenin, the VC of Sison Cap, is a PG Genesis holder as well. He's one of our lead investors in our thing as well. So PG Cap is going to evolve the way from just the way it is to a multi different level. Um, you know, More info on that. Separately. They'll come and have a separate presentation with the Genesis holders once we finalize the numbers. Super smart guys. You'll see it. You'll see it when it comes. So this is our second product, and you guys can see here team leader Ken, and shout out to our other finance team guys, Yippee. Then we have Josh, who's been helping us recently with PG Cap, and more importantly, James Kong. J Kong has been a fucking pillar of strength for us in with PG Cap. He's working full time in his Web 2 business, but been supporting Ken and us on this journey of PG Cap, reducing our workload. So real shout out to all these guys in the back who do not have this limelight, but being one of the reasons why we are able to do this. You guys can imagine amount of work and how short staffed it would be if not for the support from community members like James and stuff. And they're not working even for like $4,000, $3,000. If you guys know their pay and the hours they work, guys, you'll be like, damn, man, like I want to hire this guy. Like, they're doing it for passion. From day one being in PG, and guys who are making mid six figure salaries to come and support us. I think it's insane. So thanks a lot to the EP, JCom, Ken, and also Josh for helping us with the PG Cap side. So moving on to the next. So the team lead for this is Kevin. Kevin is Ken's brother, Kemuri. So Ken's brother, he has 15, I think 15, 16 years experience working in as a in the marketing sector for Lego, Kraken, and PNG. So this product, a gamify, edufy, gamblefy, data-driven entertainment platform. This is what we raised funds for last year. This is what's going to drop this year. This is what's one of the most like the hyped up product for me personally. Got in a series of investors, angels, etc. An ecosystem across trading, playing, gamification, and reward platform to bring entertainment products powered by data and AI. So data, AI, gaming, blockchain combination, that's pretty much what's been missing in the space. And we've been building or working on this for 6 7 months and pretty much ready to we are targeting the Q2 TG for this particular product. We don't want to reveal the name now. You might be using the product, you might be farming, but you won't know it's us until we announce it, right? So the product name, it's we're building a lot of things from scratch. We hired some best of the best guys in the space to build it as well. So when the time comes, I think the product will be revealed. So a lot of we have been associated with a lot of stuff, guys. We took a lot of projects. Not everything is a success. We took 3 years. We took blah 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 whatever. Not everything is a success. So till we make an announcement, don't assume. But definitely you definitely have you'll know it, right? Anyways, that's the aim. No biased. Everybody else using it, and then we be like, all right, guys, this is us. We do the drop, done. So
All
so
about
this
it.
one is on this system, yeah, from a gamified trading, entertainment, and data and AI platform, analyzing all the on-chain data analytics and using AI, of course, to
Update.
so strong controlling interest backed by
Meron
angel
ka ding
investors and
airdrop
VCs.
isa. Kasi
I
meron
think
pa pa eh.
someone's
Gabs, mute please. Thanks,
Ay,
mate.
yeah. So buying a season built by a seasoned dev team, veteran gaming advisors. I wish I can reveal who the gaming advisors are. Insane, guys. This is a game that you guys would have 100% played, and I think so. At least 9 out of 10 of you would have played. And these are the guys who built it or behind it, and they are designing the game ecosystem for us for this one. And like, I don't know if we can. Anyways, when the time comes, I hope the things will be. But we will get their permission before leaking the information and stuff. But is it similar to Portal? No, this is a real product. Just kidding. No, this is basically a different kind of a product that's focusing on. You'll see it. Just hold on, trust us. Q2, it's going to be out, right? So a significant user base. Yeah, gamify, edufy, gamblefy, right? So reasoning, problem and strategy, making NFTs, cryptos more entertaining, more fun, more safe, an alternative to high risk, high friction, zero sum game, PvP nature, entirely new vertical of how people look at NFTs, crypto, and potentially stocks in the future. A win-win game, a value creation for all stakeholders, platforms, projects, player traders, and influencers. Insights for newcomers so they don't feel like they're lost, but it allows them to accustom to the crypto or stock or even the NFT space. Future plan, pretty much our aim is Q1 Q2 coming up with MVP plus private round, Q2 Q3 TGE, and Q4 further seed round raise. So pretty much our TGE should be around, we are pushing for this market, but we don't want to just rush it. But I think Q2 is pretty much where we are targeting it to be. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much our product for the gamify, edufy, gamblefy. Some of the are we getting airdrops for? I think that's not even a question you guys should ask. 100%. This is this is one of the products where PG collection is going to be the genesis or the main collection of the whole platform. The success of this platform is going to be whatever success from that platform drives back to the PG assets, the airdrops for, this is our native coin. We don't have to rely on somebody else to airdrop us or whatever. Whatever you're talking now is our native project that we own, we build, and we raised funds for separately to bring us. Is this our biggest shot? I think all the six verticals, what we told, is our biggest shot, right? Each of the six verticals could work in a way that you don't know which one's going to be working, right? So each of the six verticals, if you notice, is separate. One, so far, what have we told? We have spoken about decentralized investments, we spoke about brand identity, and now we are in the gamify, edufy, gamblefy, data, AI driven product, which is, let's primarily focus on data. That's a separate vertical. So we don't know which is going to be successful, but at least at TGE everything is going to be successful, right? At TGE, at the very least, you're getting free drops, and after that, future monthly drops and claims, etc., the success of that depends on how the product performs, how the market performs and stuff. So that's where the gamify, edufy, gamify, and as you guys can notice, the team lead is a separate person, not, again, none of the known or the usual suspects are the team leads for this. And this has a separate team under it, a team of 7, 8 people, then devs, then advisors. We got an advisor who, I mean, if I mean, let's just wait. Just give us time for this Q2, but it's really hard not to announce few things and just keep it. But yeah, so just hold on. Q2 is pretty much here, and you guys held this long. It's the hardest phase you guys held. Nothing can go worse than this for us. Then it's only up only kind of stuff from here, with no announcements, nothing, and then stuff here. So I'll just take a pause here, but you guys can understand where we are getting with this, right? Diversifying our verticals and hitting different verticals by different teams. One of that could be a multi-billion-dollar, one of that could die, one of that could do a average performance, whatever. But a TG with investors and the cap table that we have, everything should give us a decent unlock and decent value at TG, and the rest of it depends on the performance of the project. Any questions? Right, cool. So this is our third one. Fourth one, ordinals. All those who called us a cash grab at the time. The team lead is Shin, single-handedly carrying it with the brainchild of, TOC was a brainchild of Jamie, followed by myself and Shin, along with Groot as well. So four of us were running this primarily, but TOC has introduced so many people to ordinals from us, from our community. For $50, we literally gave a mint for TOC, and it's not, we didn't even make like crazy amount of money from that shit or whatever. We gave early access, we gave people introduction under 50K, under 100K inscriptions, and now it's gone to millions or whatever. We never have chased random shiny object syndrome and stuff like that. But this was one thing we got in early. We brought in snakes under 10K. Thanks to Skyborn, we managed to launch it. We brought in dead jiras under 50K, and then we brought in TOC as a 100K inscription and a $50 inscription, currently sitting at $160 flow. Brought in rune stones for a lot of people. Launch Parrot Fomojis, which is one of the leading projects now. Launch Parrot, Satoshi Snakes and under 10K collection, supporting DevWise, supporting BTC IDOs, brought in Liquidium, brought in Ordio. Those of you who held a Dejira or a TOC and invested in Ordio at like crazy valuation, guys, that's a win. Look at the brand value of Leonidas now. And how much did you guys invest in Ordio at? Like Ordio was peanuts. I don't know if I can reveal, but I think if those of you are in Dejiras, you would have seen it at 10 million, so $12.5 million valuation. 12.5 mil valuation for a product like Ordio, built by one of the biggest guys in ordinal space, Leonidas, who dropped the ruin stones. That shit's gonna be acquired for some random, I don't know, like anyways, I'm not just hyping it up for no reason, but bringing deal flows that no other random capital brings in. That's what PG's been doing, right? So we don't just kind of like, just bring this project that's available everywhere. We're bringing in projects that's only unique to us, Valeria, only to us, because we incubate them. Darewise, one of we were like, pretty much early. We advise and we bring them. Liquidium, Ordio especially, only us. Oddsar was one of the few guys, and just a little bit of alpha as well. I'm trying to work out for a free token drop from Oddsar for Genesis and Dead Jira holders. Again, don't hold me to it. There's some small leaks I think which I can allow. So I'm working on their voice airdrop. I'm working on another one, and I'm also working on odds are airdrop because we're also investing in them. So so just as I said, I don't want anyone buying, or I don't want to make this public, but we're working on it. Just give us time, and this, we don't want to just focus on bringing some one-time airdrops, but it's nice to have them. So TOC has grown to be a platform that helped a lot of people come into ordinals, help support a lot of projects, build our name in that space. We invested in Xverse, the biggest wallet in the ordinal space. We have invested in Xwords. We have invested in Ordio. We are investing in Oddsar, possibly Liquidium soon as well. So Shin is that lead. And we also have the Bears Club. Bears Club is going for a BTalk raffle every week, for peanuts, but it's under 100K collection. So BTalk is one of the highest token drops till date, even though it's a free mint, etc. So airdrop and alpha, we got rug, runestones, dark tokens, 8x for investors, etc. Anyway, so ordinals, we stepped in. We one of the earliest, no matter what happens. We are probably the first known project from ETH that has inscribed in ordinals, and that is history. And Dead Jiras are even if I want to change the art of Dead Jiras, I cannot change the art of Dead Jira. So for those of you who are extremely nostalgic about the Genesis art, if you believe PG as a brand is gonna go crazy, Dead Jira as an art collectible, I think of course it's a different tier of access. So, anyways, so we got Incon BTC whitelist, we got Mikan, we got with Wizard of Odds, Quantum Cats, pretty much all the top ones there. So it's not a utility based project, but it is a collectible. Let's not go and spoil the BTC ecosystem with utility, but just enjoy it for the art and culture. So, and less paper hands. And the reasoning for us was simple. Bitcoin is the crypto gold, and BTC is the gold of crypto, etc. So ETH NFTs were losing interest at the time, non-dilutive, different artwork, moved away from ETH, etc. So onboarded a lot of Dead Jira holders to Genesis. Shane Coy, one of our best Gen holders that we have had in recent times, a lot of insights. He came in from Dead Jiras. I think who else came from Dead Jiras? I think Tara might have the accounts for that, but quite a
Toto,
few
Toto
guys
joined us.
from Dead Jiras came into PG Genesis and are repping us now. So it was a two-way street to let us, to allow people come in into PG Genesis, but also look at Dead Jiras there. So yep, perfect. So this is the ordinals. So again, this is our fourth vertical, and under PG. Fifth vertical, exciting one. Gaming. So PG is into gaming, and you guys are gonna be mad when you know who all are involved in this, from a strategic round, investment round, etc. Jamie was ex CS Pro gamer. I didn't even know that until few months back. And Jamie has been building this in the backend. AI gaming deepen. It's not just because it's the fancy words right now. It's legit an AI gaming deepen node that's been building for 6 7 months, or even 8 months actually, before even the market got crazy, right? So it is not chasing the fad. It's been this is I can't call it MVP. It's more like a test product was developed. We got the funding round is closed for this. Nodes coming up soon. Partnership with partnership and advisory with a top two gaming esports team in the world. So it's going to be insane. This particular one, if you believe in AI gaming blockchain part, as a sector, this one is not just like selling the dream, but it has some real solid backers. The nodes part, we anything with PG guys, PG Genesis and stuff, priorities, drops, etc. We'll announce in due course. So this particular one will be, will be a, as I said, like PG step into the gaming side, and not a game studio, but on a gaming infrastructure side, right? Gaming infras are, you know, different level than just, just building a game studio. So this can partner with any game, right? So yeah, we have got, as I said, we secured, a couple of, Jamie's been working hard. He secured a couple of esports guys, top two or top five in the world, and also a solid lineup of investors. So yeah, I think PG holders will eat well again. So this is again a portfolio company of PG. So I can't give too much, but yeah, the why, I think the thread what Jamie wrote, I think it was at the age of 10, transform the way we play games. Is pretty much the reasoning behind why this product was being built. And yeah, this is our venture into the AI gaming. This has got completely a different set of team, 17, 18 people, I think, from devs to everything. None of them work for any other products of PG. So no burnouts, separate fundraisers, separate, you know, um, I don't know. It's completely different, right? Like the team is completely different, and there's no burnouts and stuff. Jamie leads it, separate team. Fundraise was separate. The target audience is separate, but under PG, right? So that's pretty much what this AI gaming deepened product is. I don't like to use the word redacted, but when the previous one and this is redacted, hopefully Q2, both you're gonna see both in Q2, Q3. So all of this is this year. You don't have to wait for next year 100%. So we are looking at this year, and you'll learn about this. I think it'll come in your timeline, and you'll be like, wait a minute, how do I link this up? Should I've seen it somewhere? Oh shit, that's by P. So yeah, that's pretty much the aim there. Um, all right, cool. Any questions? Most of us are in one of the rounds. All right, so project status, the who, the total addressable market. Primary is pro gamers, content creators, esports fans. Secondary is gamers, GPU miners, and AI audience. Again, it's not, we don't want to use all these fancy words because they're hype now, but this has been in development for months. So that's why we were able to get the funding done as well. So anyways, so funding, angel round of funding is closed. What's to come? First product, discount for PG holders and priority, of course. And and second one is rough milestones. Q2 will be the marketing and innovative win-win commercial business strategy. You guys will see it, and when the time comes, it's pretty much all this has been in works for 6 9 months, and I think the time to unveil them is pretty much this quarter. So Q2 is going to be our most important one. Q2, Q3s are the defining quarter for us. All right, final question. Why did we not get a chance to invest? Because certain investments we can't make it public, and you guys are holding a Genesis or PG asset, you're getting exposure anyways. So notes available for Gen, bro, that's exactly what we have here. Discount for PG holders, working out drops, working out stuff. We can't give a promise or the exact numbers till we have everything else sorted, but your exposure to all these products is by holding PG assets. PG assets are the primary assets to get any of, if someone is speculating what asset do I hold to get access to this token or airdrop of this token or access to nodes or discount for this, it is going to be you know PG assets. The last one, this is something you guys are very familiar with. It's something that I'm a team lead for from the PG side, and something that I've been super bullish on last year, when they were nobody, they didn't have any followers, they didn't have any community. PG helped them, of course. Incredible team, crazy talented team, super hardworking. Maverick also joined them as advisor recently. So Maxis is turning into a casino, but with a twist. All right, I'm not sure if that is there in the deck here. um it's not exactly there. Okay, So pretty much PG holders will get token drops for Maxi. The numbers and stuff will be confirmed, but yeah, this is pretty much something that's on. Of course, your best bet is to hold a Pans Genesis, which we offered to everybody at like 0.01, and they went crazy. And of course, there's Pans Gen 2, the little Z's that's coming out as well with Rev shares, etc. But PG holders will be getting exposure to um, Maxis as well, right? So this is our gamble fight. This is our bet and gamble fight, right? 4,000 ETH volume, 2,000 ETH the last 30 days, integrated in Blast, Polygon, Bitcoin, and ETH. Currently with Maxi's coin flip, peer-to-peer raffle, and peer-to-peer loan, moving towards an entire, different vertical. So Maxi's use cases is going to be raffle, flips, buybacks, minting NFTs, blind boxes, and governance. Genesis Pan serves as the primary membership that you guys know. There's gamified profit sharings, NFT airdrops, exclusive raffles, and stuff. Building the next generation of browser-based and on-chain games of chance. We're calling it the Maxis Originals, games that do not exist in other casinos. Very unique, very new, with the help of recent tech, etc. But also keep making it fun. And of course, we have equity and we have a big, let's say, plans with them, and a lot of shit's happening. So this is a bet into gamblefy, and it's also in safe hands with a guy like Maverick leading them, from the advisory standpoint of view. So what is PG in short? I think this slide explains with our 6 verticals explained here. It's a next gen investment company, an investment bridge that connects opportunities across holders, builders, startups, and VCs in the blockchain industry, and also Web2, I may add. Rub shoulders with the big boys, but also create opportunities for the little guys, community driven and working in a democratic way. So that's pretty much it. Just a shout out to Nostradamus and Amrish for getting this deck done. Not an easy way to, I mean, not an easy task to, make a deck without leaking stuff, but at the same time conveying the direction at which PG is going on. So once again, just to recap, the sectors are 6 different products with all these people. When the time comes, the GTM is strong, the memes are strong, and when the time comes for each of these products for the drops or the next levels and stuff, PG assets are the primary assets for it. So so yeah, Nostradamus and Ambrish, thanks a lot. And the 6 verticals, everything works, or one works, two works, you never know. But we have, without spreading ourselves thin, we have diversified ourselves into different sectors and industries. What should we wait for next? Man, there's a lot. PG merge, redacted 1, redacted 2, maxis. I don't know what else is there. So decentralized, I mean, PG cap 2.0 as well. So there's 4 or 5 things to look forward for in Q2, Q3. And everything is almost like everything comes at the same time. That's how it was, unfortunately. I wish there was something on Q1, something on Q2, but Q2, Q3 is going to be packed for us. So this new collection is still going to have the PG initials. Maybe, maybe not. We would call it a separate name. We are turning it into a PG group. PG group holds all these entities, but the name for the NFT collection as such could be different. All right. Any questions, guys? Brand name, yes, PG group stays the same. The art NFT collection will have a different name. So imagine the collection name is XYZ by PG group, Maxis by PG group, redacted 1 by PG group, PG cap by PG group. So PG group is the parent company, which we have never sold or took VC funds for. But under PG group, there is a slew of products. Do we get an ecosystem token? Once we grow big enough, once we reach like 5% of where Animoca is, absolutely, man. Thinking of the little guy, what's the potential of just holding one of the 10? Access, again, the accesses will be smaller, but it's still guaranteed accesses. So Imagine 10K guys, $100 a month for some opportunity. That's $1 million a month for PG into something that everyone can participate and eat. So even with single NFTs, people will have their own accesses and use cases. The number would be different. The allocations would be different. The airdrop numbers for all these products is going to be per asset, right? So they still get the airdrops for all these products. Even if you hold one or if you hold 10, for each of the one that you hold, your airdrops, your ecosystem rewards, etc., is going to come for all the 10K holders. Can we purchase PG Group equity in future? Hopefully, when things are more easier and legally possible. Um, my aim has always been to give away PG equity for Genesis holders from day one, but a lot of legal problems with that. So someday, hopefully, things get much more easier, and when it's easier, definitely. Assume Gen categories like Mobby presidential role. Exactly, spot on. I would say governor. Gen 1 is like governor. Um, yeah, I think Gen 1 is presidents plus governor. That's kind of the best way to put it. Yes. So president role means in Mobby you get the highest access. Let's say $5,000 investment opportunity for a general for a guaranteed cook, but every other Mobby staker gets like $500 or $200 worth of investment, which will again do a 5-10x, but it's a very small level of allocation. That's the difference. So non-Gen 1 still get airdrop allocation. Absolutely, like don't. That's why I'm telling, right? Gen 1 is going to be the priority, but doesn't mean we're going to screw up the individual guys, right? Individual assets, you have 10 assets. So each Genesis comprises of 10 assets. You'll get whatever you get per asset with a booster or bonus. Will we be able to stake our NFTs? Probably soft staking. That part we are still thinking about it. Art leak, I think that's, yeah, I think that's probably on Ambrish. What happens to 3 fusion factions? So fusion, first thing, we're giving them 3 drops. We still are working on whether to continue it the way it is right now or to change it into a different section, because you need a lot. We realize for fusion kind of DAO to work, you need a lot more resources and a lot more effort to run it, and the space has to mature. Master catalog, shout out to him, he's been killing it. We haven't been providing a lot of resources, but he's been running it, like himself crazy. Aku and Vajda as well, they tried, and it's just hard. It's very hard. And we are kind of like super